Which equation best represents the relationship between x and y on the graph? First, you need to highlight the y-axis. And then if you look and you circle where that line crosses the axis, that has to be the B. So you have -2. Anything that doesn't have -2 is wrong. So if you see +1, +1, -2, -2, A and B are wrong. Now all you have to look at is C and D. So pick a nice spot. And if I look, X is 2. And y is 2, and I'm going to substitute numbers in to see which one of those comes out correctly. So pick the easiest one to work first, and I'm going to use 2 for y and 2 for x. Oh, so it worked. So my guess is D is correct. But let me try to prove C wrong. Let's try the same 2, 2 with C. And we're going to use 2 for y and 2 for x. Well, 1/2 of 2 is 1. Does C work? It does not. So your answer has to be D. Okay, which table represents the relationship between x and y? You're going to highlight that y. And you're going to circle your y-intercept. And you're just going to pick a spot and substitute it in. See if it works. So let's do A has 0 and 1. So we're going to go over 0 and up 1. Is it there? Nope. So it's not A. B has 4 and 3. So if we start at 0, we go over 4 and up 3. Is that on the line? Nope. So it's not B. Come on. Erase. I'm going to let you work on C and D. I would do 2 and 2. And 3 and 4. But I just like positive numbers, so you can make your own decision. All right, C says, it says, which table below, I think it's supposed to say this, the table below, shows the relationship between X, the number of minutes a factory worker works, and Y, the total number of widgets she can create. Which graph best represents the relationship between X and Y on the table? So, first things first, you're going to highlight the Y-axis on all of them. And then you're going to pick a spot and see where it shows up on the graph. So if I start with 2, 0, ooh. If I start with 2, 0, or I'm sorry, 2, 1, then when x is 2, y has to be 1. So I can come on my graph and go over 2 and up 1. So far, A looks good. Let's check out C. Over 2, up 1. C's wrong. 1. B's wrong. Over 2, up 1. D's wrong. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The table below shows the distance y a train can travel in miles in x hours. Based on the information on the table, which equation can be used to model the relationship between x and y? So you're going to pick an easy number, and you're just going to see which ones work. So y equals 3x plus 180. This time, y is 180 and x is 3. Is it true that 180 is equal to 189? Of course not. A is not the answer. So let's try it with B. Plus or minus at the end of this. That is A-okay. It's just like a plus 0. It's not a big deal. We said that y is 180 and x this time is 3. Now, so far, B looks to be correct. I'm going to check out C and D. I can either check B against every single one of the numbers in the table, or I can prove that C or D is wrong. So I'm going to prove that C is wrong, hopefully, using the same numbers. And I can prove that D is wrong doing the same thing. My answer. Now, number 5, it's a little unfair to give to you because we haven't actually learned how to do this yet. I think you learned it on Friday, but I think you can pretty much figure it out. So it says, Jessica wants to take an Uber from school to the Astros game. The Uber charges an initial fee of $32 plus $1.50 per mile. Which equation can be used to find y, the cost of the trip, if x represents the number of miles? So when we talk about y equals mx plus b, that b So if X is miles and Y is how many dollars? If she goes 0 miles, how much are they going to charge her? Oh, you think 0. But look, it says just to get in the Uber, they're going to charge her $32. Yeah. So Y is actually $32 before she goes any miles at all. What happens if she goes 1 mile? Well, it would be the $32 plus the $1.50. What happens if she goes 2 miles? Well, you're going to add on another $1.50, aren't you? What happens if she goes 3 miles? They're going to charge her another $1.50. So if you do that, now you have a table. You can match your equation to the table. So remember, to match your equation to the table, you're going to take 1y and 1x and see if they work. So if you take A, you have 32x plus 1.5. Y we said is going to be $35 every time x is 2. And I've already proven that A isn't the right answer. So you double check B, C, and D. The one that gives you the right Y when you put the X in, that's your answer. Number 6 says, which equation best represents the relationship between X and Y on the graph? Oh my goodness. Start with highlighting the y-axis. Now, you have 2, a positive 2, that is your beginning. So anything that is not positive 2, you can cross out right away. Then you can pick a line and test it, or pick a spot and test it. Another one you can rule out is the line going up or down. If you put your finger from your left hand on that line, it's going up. So M has to be positive. So that might help you cross one off, another one off. So then you only have 2 to choose from. And if you pick, I would suggest picking 6 and 6. So if y is 6, then x is 6. See if that comes out right. Or when you check D, y and x are both 6. So whichever one gives you the right answer, or if you cross off all of them that are wrong, you'll know which ones. All right, number 7 is a lot like number 5, where I said it wasn't really fair to give it to you, but your teachers are mean and we did it to you anyway. Which equation represents the relationship between y, the cost of the visit, and x, the number of hours the plumber worked? So he charges $45 fee plus $52 an hour. So for 0 hours, when he very first comes out, he's going to charge you $45 before he even starts to work. And every time an hour goes by, he's going to add $52. So for 1 hour, it's going to be $97. Then another hour goes by, he's going to add on $52 more. Another hour goes by, he's going to add on $52 more. That should be a 2, not a 3. I was going to say, my goodness, he got expensive fast. Now you can substitute in and figure out which one's wrong. Now remember, if we begin at 45, this is our beginning. That is what B should be. So you can cross off, like, actually, you can find the right answer just knowing that piece of information. Just saying. The temperature in degrees Celsius is 5/9 of the difference between the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit and the constant 32. Which equation represents this relationship? Difference means to subtract. So we are subtracting Fahrenheit minus 32. Cross off anything that doesn't have that as part of the equation. All right, number 9. Which graph corresponds to y equals 2x minus 2? Highlight that y-axis, folks. Look at the little hand. I don't know where the hand comes from, but it's so cute. And circle your y-intercept. What does the y-intercept have to be? It has to be -2. Right away, you can cross off 3 out of the 4 answers that are wrong. And if that's not good enough for you, you can substitute in some values to find out which one is correct.